welcome to my very first ever episode here at Bellheart Home. And I am coming at you this evening. It's 5 o'clock, I think. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock right here, right now. And from Utah, from Salt Lake City. So I am just getting on here to share some knitting content. And I feel like it's more than my turn. I've been putting this off actually for a month. 1 month ago, I went to the New York Woolen Sheep Festival and I was traveling a lot the month of October, so I really couldn't make it happen. And then November, the first part of November, I was gone. So here I am, and I have some things laid out that I want to share with you. And on Instagram, I should just cover that. You can find me as Bellheart Home on Instagram, lowercase bell_heart_home. So the past few years, I have been really enjoying all of the knitting podcasts. And actually, I made a little list of some of the podcasts that I want to be sure to mention. And if I get on here again, maybe in a month or so, I can mention some more. But there are some podcasts that I consistently watch, so I do want to share all about that. I want to share things about my trip, some things that I took home with me, and then also my whips. And I should mention that I have my most recent finished sweater on. And if you're watching and you're currently familiar with probably a very popular sweater is the Ooey Gooey by Andrew Mowry. And I was on the hill on the Saturday of the New York Woolen Sheep Festival, and it was just so fun seeing all the combinations. And I decided to do a more neutral one. And I love all colors, I really do. But I think in my knitting repertoire, I had this spin cycle in Happy Pill. My cuffs are somewhat matching too, and it makes it kind of fun. But I had this spin cycle yarn in my stash that I had purchased at the Lamb & Kid a few years ago called Happy Pill, and it was wild. And I kind of had to get pretty detailed with it because there was a lot of bright yellow, as you can kind of see. Some of it's there, a lot of bright oranges, and I think I kind of picked the more muted, refined tones. I thought it might just look a little better, a little bit more neutral, although it's not neutral. And then this is honestly the only teal in the entire skein, and that just did the collar. It's just, spin cycle is so cool. So I'm very happy with it. It fits me really good. I do plan to make more sweaters. I have not made a lot of sweaters, and more on that later. So I really wanted to talk about, first off, my trip. So I went to Catskills is where we stayed. We flew back on the Wednesday before the big weekend. I actually traveled alone, but I met a really dear friend of mine from Canada, Crystal. Some of you may recognize her in my Instagram photos. So the past 3 years we've been doing this trip together, and it is just so fun. So we traveled on Wednesday, and then Thursday we wanted to have kind of a more chilled day. So we went and literally plunked ourselves in a coffee shop and were there the entire day. It was amazing. So the whole entire area back there, there's quite a few festivals that are happening, like Cake Palooza, Woolen Affair, Indie Undyed, and then the New York Woolen Sheep event that is on Saturday and Sunday. It's not that large of an area. So where we stayed, and I do want to share where we stayed because it is an amazing place. We actually saw some fellow knitters. I'm just going to take a sip. Coffee is so good. We stayed at Auto Camp, and it was in Catskills, and it's a huge piece of real estate, and there's just tons of like, it's a camping style layout place where they provide Airstream trailers or glamping tents or cabins. So we've only ever stayed in a cabin, and they have different sized cabins, but it was fabulous and cozy. They have campfire options outside your cabin, and a couple of the nights they have live music. So if you're in need of a place, I really can't recommend it more. And I'm currently booked for 2026 because I just figure more and more people are going to find out about this, and look at me, I'm sharing it with you. It is a great place, and it's not that far. It's like a 20-minute drive into Rhinebeck for restaurants or for the certain events. And that coffee shop that we went to was called Bread Alone. We went there on Thursday and we stayed there the whole day. So I wanted to mention there was a motive to my madness because I was not done my sweater, and I wanted to wear it on Saturday to the Hill, to my New York Woolen Sheep Festival. Rhinebeck sweater was not completed. So I knit all day Thursday at the coffee shop, and I honestly think I was working on the cuffs, but I think we stayed till 5-ish, and then we did a little shopping. The town of Rhinebeck is so cute. Then we went for a dinner at a place called Terrapin. The actual restaurant, Terrapin, is adorable. So cute. The outside structure, and of course they had it like decorated for fall, and I should put in a picture. I think I will. And that was just a really great experience. And then we went back to our auto camp in Catskills, and we finished off the evening late night knitting. And then I ended up traveling with a new to me steamer to steam block this, because when you fully block a sweater and submerge it in water, it can take a few days to dry, and I just didn't have that time. So steam blocking this was like a really good option for me. And yeah, and then I just laid it out and was ready to wear for Saturday morning. So then Friday was the first beginnings of our events that we would have had like ticketed events for cake. And I do want to share my purchases there. We had 10 a.m. tickets. So we were up pretty early, had our breakfast, our coffee, all the things, and waited in the line. But I wanted to read something based on one of the purchases I bought. So I bought a bag, and I have known about these bags for a very long time, and some of you may know about them. The redesigned, whoops, I opened this. This is the one I got. Mine is Project 44, I think. It's absolutely beautifully made. Mine is a little bit more structured. Whoops, that's the name. Mine is kind of like the skinny and narrow, but like long enough and substantial enough to fit good stuff in it. I loved the color. I'm using it as a crossbody type style, but I also will be taking it to all my sporting adventures with one of my kids that I go to, because it can safely hold a lot, and then I can just put it down beside my lawn chair. And I really, really loved this one. The other ones, I'm not saying that I won't buy one, but for my needs right now, the way they tri-fold open, that concept is amazing because it holds so much. But I just was worried about how that might disservice me, like if my yarn goes rolling, if I'm on the grass or on the go a lot and that kind of thing. Like if I have a table, like a more structured environment, and I'm sitting in an organized space, not on the go, I would love that. But the leather in these bags are beautiful, and I thought a really sweet part about that is what it comes in. A beautiful canvas tote, but I just want to read this. Embrace slow living by starting a slow hobby. Knitting and crocheting are wonderful hobbies that can be practical and enjoyable. Not only do they allow you to create beautiful handmade items, but they can also be incredibly relaxing and therapeutic. The activities demand your undivided attention, forcing you to be mindful, fully present, and focused on the task at hand, and can help increase mindfulness and promote a sense of calm and inner peace. Love Redesigned. I think that is just like a beautiful component that comes with these bags. So that was my big Cake Palooza purchase. Very happy with it. The strap, of course, does come off. So I actually filled this with yarn and put it in my suitcase when I traveled home. So, okay, I did buy a couple other bags. I am the bag lady. A TANNEI Cassie, that's my Canadian coming out of me. I would say Cassie, TANNEI Cassie bag. I just thought this was, I forget the name of this. It's like on the tip of my tongue. This like type of canvas, but it's waterproof. It's beautiful, and I love the neutrality of this. It has 2 inside pockets. If you know, you know, but her bags are amazing. And she is lovely. She was at her booth. I actually spent a fair bit of time in her booth. And yeah, she's just so sweet and helpful. Because there's just so many prints to pick from. And I liked this size, but it's not too big either. So I settled on it, and coming on winter, I'm really into brown. Like, I love brown these days. So yes, and I did buy a colorful, almost like a sweater quantity's worth, because I love strawberries. Love strawberries. And also a TANNEI Cassie bag. Awesome durable zipper, brown leather handle with a matching pouch. And I'm very happy. The navy and the red, it's definitely a pop of color, but it's very plain strawberry, and I won't get sick of it. Okay, so those are my bags from Cake Palooza. And then I made a beeline right to Chelsea Yarns. So I had an intention. I want to show you. This was my Chelsea Yarns purchase, was this denim color in Chelsea Luxe denim. And I'm pairing it with this mohair, and I think it's gorgeous. For the, now I wrote this down, cozy prep. I'm making what she was saying. She actually wore it. Chelsea was wearing it. The cozy prep vest, super cute. And it does not require a lot of yarn, but this just feels so good. And I need to add more of this color to my wardrobe. So I'm so excited about that. Her selections there, of course, like her booth was just, I mean, it's just so good. And it's not all I got. So I love to make socks. So I picked this one up. This was cool. Very fallish to me. This is called Unfiltered. I don't know how new that is to her collection, but it is awesome. Moody, and I loved it. Got that one. And then this, she had this in a cute, she had this displayed really cute. At the front entrance of her booth, she had like a big wood bin, and these were just like, there were so many of these. And her label, I am in autumn. Did you hear that circulating around Instagram? All fall. It's like all of the fall Rhinebeck autumny vibes. just love it so much. So yes, I was going to tell you, I love making socks. I actually have a few pair on the go right now, and that's another thing that I can do in this phase of life because I'm on the go a lot. Excuse me. Is to take socks with me, because I really did just learn how I like to make my vanilla socks, and I don't need a pattern, and I can just easily take them everywhere on the go. So I feel like that somehow justifies me to buying more and more sock yarn, but that's probably ridiculous too, because I have sock yarn that I will never use, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna surround myself with more collections of sock yarn. There's also a fellow podcaster, and I think she came up with a brilliant term that suits me anyway, from Jen Loves Yarn. She talks about her stash enhancements. What a classy way to put that. My stash enhancements from Cake. And I bought 2 other beautiful things. I did buy another sock yarn. Look at that. Is that not so fun? It's so good. This was by Spun Right Around. It's Cake Palooza Party in a Parking Lot. That is really what Cake is. If you haven't been there, it's literally on the side of a street in a parking lot with vendors vending. It's just awesome. But yes, love this. And then I also bought a beautiful set of cashmere for a hat. And this was from Cashmere Treats. And this is so gorgeous. And the lady she owns this, Cashmere Treats, this is her business. She was super helpful and had tons of samples to pick from, and this is what I settled on. Do you like to, it's just like the best poppy red. I mean, hi. That's like saying hello right there too. Okay, so one more treasure from Cake Palooza was Tuft. So this is my first time ever like being in a place where I could buy Tuft. I mean, I think you could order it online, but I went to their booth and I bought myself and my few other little people. Oh, that's like focusing. But it just smells like fall. I think that was her Cake Palooza scent that she made. And it's a hand balm. And so this is my first time ever using it, and I absolutely love it. I just really didn't know how it would compare to hand cream, but it's not greasy, but it's almost like hydrating and smooth. Like it smooths out your rough spots in your hands. And when, like, as a knitter, it's like you don't want to just go put on cream and then go knit. This is just fine with that. So I'm a big fan. I also bought a bar of soap, toasted pistachio and caramel, and it smells delicious. And I picked up a few of their lip balms for my little knitting pouch. So I was very happy with my little purchases or big purchases at Cake. Then we quickly took a break and went back to our campsite, and we had our lunch, and then we took off to our 2 o'clock appointment at Woolen Affair. So also, like, I think that's a little bit differently laid out, but you buy a ticket for Woolen Affair, and then I think you do have more time to just stay, but that's the time frame that we had. So I too had an agenda of stuff that I wanted to for sure look at. Hopefully I was gonna be able to get some. Was the at the Wandering Flock fluff. I have never used this stuff and I was so excited. So I bought a sweaters quantity, and that booth is amazing. So they had tons of sweaters on display for samples, sizes, everything. I tried on. This is the colorway Poppy. This is a really soft wool, cotton, and baby Surrey. But on Instagram too, I had seen this little advertisement. The fluff is back. Well, this is my first time ever getting acquainted with this fluff, and now I have some of my own, but it's just, it is amazing. Okay, and then two more things at the same booth at the Wandering Flock. I just need to shut my window. They're doing Christmas lights. It is such a hot day here in Salt Lake City. It was 65 degrees, so warm. I did all of my gardening this morning, like the last of it. I have a lot of roses and they all needed cutting back, so I got right to it, but I enjoyed my time outside. So still at the same booth, the Wandering Flock, I could not resist these two colors. So I am not totally like a pink person, but I love pink lipstick. And then I have a mother dear, and she is such a pink person, and so is my daughter. So I did not leave this there. I brought some home. Is that not the best pink? Like, this is the kind of pink I love. It's like bubblegummy pink. But this is called Flamingo. And I bought a vest quantity of this. And I want to make the Leslie Friend vest. So I'm going to try to figure that all out. And then this would be something that I would make for myself. If I don't end up using this, my daughter has dibs on this. She's in love with this. So who knows, maybe I could make her a vest and she'd actually wear it. And then there was this. This is a TELANG. And these are both the same. They are a 100% superwash extra fine merino, and it's a DK, 100 gram weight. So yes, vest. There's so many vest options out there, so it will not be a problem finding a pattern, but that's my intent. So I have just so much knitting to keep me busy. Isn't it grand? And so little time. Okay, so Woolen Affair was like a beautiful venue right on, I believe, the Hudson River. It was happening. We had a nice coffee, shopped around. I mean, I saw so many other, you know, fabulous booths that I wanted to go into, but it was getting later in the day and we had some dinner reservations that we wanted to meet. And so, yeah, but I did see a few little friends, not a lot. This year I knew going into this trip who wasn't going to be there that I really wished were going to be there, but maybe next year. So that wrapped up our day. So we did cake and Woolen Affair. That was Friday. And then we had a nice evening. Friday evening, we went to dinner at Market Street. That is just such a good, awesome, great, recommended restaurant. That's located right in Rhinebeck. We had went there last year, chose to go back. It's a top spot. Okay, so Rhinebeck, or New York Wool and Sheep, Saturday morning. We decided to show up for the festival kind of mid-morning. We did need to pack up our stuff because we stayed, our little camp stay time was coming to an end because my friend was flying out early Sunday morning. So we had to pack up Saturday morning, take our bags with us, do New York Wool and Sheep, and then we traveled home Sunday. Which maybe, just maybe, I'll push my time next year, travel Wednesday, travel Monday, and do New York Wool and Sheep a full day Saturday, a full day Sunday. Because honestly, Saturday is just such a busy day of like seeing people. The crowds are large. I I had my own little agenda of what I wanted to do. So, of course, the sweater. I didn't wait in any of the lineups. I kind of was like from afar. I was admiring. I took some video. It really is amazing. Andrew Mowry she's just so cute, and she just has such a following, and her patterns are amazing. So it was so fun to see all the variations of color. And I did take a little video footage of it, so I should maybe include that. It would be kind of fun. So I kind of witnessed that. I really wanted to get a lobster roll, being on the East Coast and all, and we had some fried clams, kind of indulged. Like, it's not the best healthy eating day, but it is just so fun, right? We did, at one point, we had our apple cider donuts and a little bit of shopping, and then I really am so glad for who I got to see, because it really wasn't a lot, but it was, and it could have been more, but it was really sweet. Really glad for who I saw. So we arrived, this was the flow of the day on Saturday. We arrived, it was close to lunch, and so we ate. We meandered a little bit with the sheep first. Then we decided we would get our lobster roll, and that was amazing. It was a beautiful day. And then I did the sweater thing because it was approaching 1 or 2 o'clock by that time. And then after that, I wanted to go on the lookabout. There's these buildings off to one section of Rhinebeck. They're not the barns, they're the buildings. And I just love, like last year, we bought a knitting ring, Crystal and I did. It was really sweet. I need to drink of this. So the buildings, A, B, and C, whatever they're labeled as, they have amazing shopping in them. So I spent a very long time at this booth, and I'm going to show you this was like my one. I made 2 purchases at the New York Wool and Sheep, and this was one of my main purchases. Is it focusing? So the Long Island Yarn and Farm, American raised and spun. It is amazing. So I absolutely fell in love. The owner was at her booth. We had the best chat, and the best part, like I think what I love the most is these are her animals. It is no joke. It is a farm to table experience. Beautiful. So I bought, this is called Snowflake Obsidian, but it is, to me, like when I was at her booth, I was really convinced that this was more than a DK, maybe a little bit bulky, but anyway, it's not. It is a DK. I mean, like, it's not more than DK. And it's sport weight, it's Surrey alpaca and merino. Okay, so I bought 5 of these for, the squish factor is unbelievable, but I'll be making some sort of sweater, obviously. So that's my plan there. And I just can't even tell you enough good things about this. She has a beautiful website, you should check it out. And this one, I bought 1 skein of fingering. That's her label again. And I will leave all these details for show notes down below. But this one is actually a combination of her 3 of her pets. So, of her llamas, Layla, Munson, and Georgia. And if you give her a follow on Instagram, she shares like lots of content on what her pets are up to. And even since Rhinebeck, she's done several shows, and they're just adorable. They get shared, I think she told me, twice a year. And so after Rhinebeck, they did several more shows, and it was just this week that they got shared. They're clipped. They are like so adorable. So anyway, I couldn't leave this here. There, I had to bring it home with me. And then I had an intent for some rustic wool. So that definitely served the rustic wool, but I found 2 more skeins of a beautiful booth, Flora and Fauna Farm. And I love that label. Isn't that so cute? So this is definitely more rustic, more brown. I'm in my brown era. I'm really enjoying the browns. I think this will be a matching set for my own self. First, it's gonna match my winter long walking coat. I walk most days with my dogs. I walk every day with my dogs. But I think that this will be really sweet with a new addition, as a new addition to my new coat that I got, which is like a really light taupey color. So I'm gonna do the browns. But this was a gorgeous booth. I could have, I mean, I stayed there a while too, and that was located over in the barns. But yeah, I just wanted something super rustic, the whole like authentic feel of Rhinebeck that it is for me. So this time, when we got to Rhinebeck, I did mention we seen like the sheep and stuff. I really enjoyed that this year. So we just lingered there for a fair bit. Some of the shearing was happening. The shows were on. Some of the lambs were sleeping. Some of them were eating. Some of them, 2 of the, like, okay, Percy was one of the names of this dark brown sheep, and he's on his way. Like, it's just amazing. These farmers are amazing. And they're getting them ready for show the next day, and combing and brushing and just trimming and just such detail. And it's so fun. Like, I just loved it so much. So back to just a really sweet, happy moment that I had when I was at the booth, American LIYF, the Long Island Yarn and Farm booth. I told you I was there for a while, talking with the owner and that, but Jen from Jen Loves Yarn found me, and we just had the sweetest little meetup and chit chat, and I just loved it so much. I was just like, in all the people, and I'm in this like booth in this corner all by myself. It's like, I was so glad she found me. So that was really, really sweet, Jen. Loved it. So that kind of concludes my Rhinebeck purchases, and it's just more for me, like, yes, purchasing yarn and all that, it's super fun, right? It's what we do, but it is so much more. It's the people we see, the food, the feels, the knits, just the sights to behold. I could sit on those benches anywhere at all and sit and just like, yeah, and talk. And I recognize people, podcasters. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So I do think we all feel the same way, and I'm just so glad I'm a knitter, right? So glad I'm a knitter. Okay, so my whips right now that I'm currently working pretty frequently on is I signed up for a class. Not maybe for the knowledge of it, because not that I'm a pro, but it's really not why I'm there. So for the social aspect, so this specific store opened up 1 year ago in downtown Salt Lake City. It is called Handwork. And I'm just gonna, on the front page of my pattern, that is the store. It's a brick and mortar storefront. This is Whitney. She's the store owner. She is so great. And for about 20 years in Salt Lake, there was a store. It's closed now. The owner retired. But this woman, Whitney, she worked that store and did a lot of knitting samples for them. So she's been at the whole knitting business for quite a few years, and it's just really awesome that she has her own space, and she just really knows how to create a beautiful space. So I just really wanted to go to her space, take a class, be with fellow knitters. It's awesome. But they did a specific pattern that I was really drawn to. So there's a designer by the name of Taylor Ann Knits, and this is her pattern, and it's a celebration pattern debut for this specific store. And it's called the Textured Cardigan, and it's going really well. It's a blast. So this is the yarn I'm doing it with, the Gilead. There was okay, so her inventory is amazing. Amazing. So many color choices, and I don't have a large knitted wardrobe, so I'm trying to just kind of keep it either solid colors, or like if I'm gonna do a bright, not that this is for me, it's probably for Holly, but if I was gonna do a solid vest, it could be a bright, fun color. I'm kind of trying to mindfully add to my wardrobe, as I feel like we all do, but it can be tricky. So anyway, for this oversized textured cardigan, there was a lot of inventory to pick from, but I did choose to just go plain cream. I don't have anything plain cream that I've knitted. So I did a swatch, gauge swatch. Is that a good word or a bad word? So I met gauge. This is the front pocket, but it is such a cute basket weave pattern. And then this is the back. This is how much I have done. Class 2 is this week. So this is the back, to be the back panel, and I've started working on the armholes. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm excited. The flow of her class is, I think there's 4 class periods, or 3 class periods. She does send out emails, and then there's 2 weeks between each. So it's a fair chunk of knitting, but also this is kind of chunky. It's not fingering weight like my Ooey Gooey, right? Oh my goodness. That was forever. I was forever finishing this. Like if I was gonna make another Ooey Gooey, I would definitely do a larger type of yarn and not fingering weight. So that is my current whip. And the next current whip is something that I bought yarn for this last year at Cake Palooza. One of my most favorite colors. Almost people who know me know that this is my favorite color. This is my favorite color. I'm in lime green, like I say it's lime green. So my vehicle is this color. It's very random, must be my age, makes me happy. But I bought this at Cake Palooza from a lady that was sitting in her vending, like she was vending her booth from Fantastic Farms. And this is all hand spun from her farm by her. It is amazing. So I paired it. This is pretty rustic in a gray color. And I paired it with a really soft DK brown. So I'm getting the best of both worlds. I'm in my brown era, but this is my favorite color. And I'm making, are you ready for this? The Night Lights Shawl by Andrew Mowry. I don't have that much done, but it is making me happy. And it matches my vehicle. So I just thought, while I have this vehicle, I think that this would be fun. So I'm kind of just trying to, that's right? Night Lights. It's the Night Lights Shawl by Andrew Mowry. I'm just trying to divide my knitting time into both of these projects right now, but I also have socks that I'm working on that I'm probably not going to share right now. This requires, it's a 16 row repeat, and it requires me paying attention. I can't just guess what row I'm on. So there's just constantly checking boxes, and you know how it is. So it's kind of my home project. Then the sweater, I am at 7 inches of a 4 row pattern. So it's a lot easier, right? And I'm already, the pattern's already, I'm getting used to it, as we know that happens. So I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to share, and I think that's it. One more restaurant that I want to recommend. I'm going back to the area of Rhinebeck weekend, is the Red Onion. So I've ate there twice. It is excellent, and it's in a beautiful old house. Not even so much old, but it's like, it's a house. Almost like a colonial East Coast house. Excellent, excellent food. So, and I will put all this, like I say, down below, just because I feel like this recap is very specific about my trip. It's what I wanted to talk about. It's what I got on here for. And I think, honestly, one more thing that I wanted to add was some reading material. So a few months ago, I signed up to get Knit Nation. Are you reading Knit Nation? Because I'm loving it. This is my, I think it's the November issue in preparation for Christmas. But it is so good. It is filled with like patterns and inspiration. It has crossword puzzles, like navigating the knitter's terminology. But yeah, just like tons of information, and it's very international based. Like lots of stuff is mentioned from different parts of the world where knitting is happening. It's just, yeah, I'm always so excited when it's mail day. I love it so much. So I think that's it. That is what I wanted to share. And I have no plans as to when I'm going to be sharing again, but I did want to just get this out here. I really just appreciate so much the podcast era. It's like the only thing I really, when I'm sitting down to watch TV, I'm watching a podcast, unless it's something that my husband and I are watching, like a different series. But for my own enjoyment, I wanted to mention, like I have a whole list of favorite podcasters that routinely put out a podcast. Don't really know specifically when they're going to share their podcast, because it just happens. Life is just always happening. But some of my favorites would be that I really like, can't even tell you how much I've enjoyed them through the years. So Leslie Friend, or A Friend to Knit With. This is all, these podcasts are on YouTube. It's their YouTube channel. So I don't know why I should be, if I'm okay to call it podcast or not. The newer one, and she's doing a fabulous job, is Jen Loves Yarn. Loving her. She really switches it up. Jen, you're doing a great job. Love it so much. Table 10 podcast. I actually got to meet these sisters. I'm a sister. I have sisters. I have no brothers. Love their podcast. They make me laugh. Like, totally make me laugh. They're always just like, they're just such sisters. You have like things underneath, you're muffling little words back and forth, and then they crack each other up. It's the best. Sisters are the best. Pairs well with knitting. She always has interesting content, like, yeah, like resourceful. She shares a lot of different yarns. She actually really influenced me to get into trying more rustic, authentic yarns, like farm to table concepts. So I appreciate that. One of my most loved is Sweet Skein of Mine, from my hometown where I was raised, Fredericton, New Brunswick. Amanda, like the best. She is like my snail mail friend. Love her content. Someone said to her the other day, I think I seen somewhere, one of the comments, I love your podcast. It's so relaxing. Like, yes. Because she just shares like recipe content, knitting. She has a little shop, always dyeing fabulous yarn. She just shares, like Teddy. We love you, Teddy, her dog. It's like you get to know all their little aspects of her life. It's so sweet. Sandy by the Lakeside. She's always sharing wonderful bags and content. Little Miss Knits, she is a person I wish I'd seen more. Miss you, Macy, and she is just a great friend, great resource. She just has a beautiful podcast once in a while when it fits her busy lifestyle. I am a routine watcher of the Crazy Sock Lady. That's how I got on to knitting socks. Like, so thankful for my sock knitting. Can't even tell you. And then the newest one that I just learned of maybe a couple weeks before my trip was Chapel Hill Knits. And I don't think I saw her at Rhinebeck, but I think she's doing a great job too. So there are other ones I'll mention next time, but so glad for the podcast, and it's just a great community. So that is these are my shares. This is my share, and we'll just be back to share more when I feel like I have a little updated versions of my life, of my whips, or I think for me, I'll be just sharing what comes along. Like, different times of year mean different shares for me. So yes, for sure the knitting, but I also love sharing recipes and that kind of thing. And I'm off of my quilting era, but for years I actually used to quilt more than I knit. But I can't take my quilting with me. So it is my knitting that comes with me everywhere. I would never leave the house without my knitting. And maybe I'll get inspired at some point in the new year with quilting content, who knows? But for right now, it's definitely, I'm in love with yarn. I've been knitting since I've been 4. Not consistently, but like, I've had chunks of time when I wasn't knitting and I was quilting more, but I would say over my entire life, I've been knitting, and so thankful for it. So until next time,